This is the Mississippi Economic Council. We are the State Chamber of Commerce. We are a association of businesses from all parts of Mississippi, all industry sectors, all business sectors. We make up the voice of business in Mississippi. Today is our annual meeting. It is our 69th annual meeting. We've been around for 69 years, and it's an organization that has strongly held positions of making sure we're promoting our state in a way that allows businesses to grow. At this time, I get to do something really fun. I have the honor and the privilege of introducing someone that I've gotten to know over the past year, and what a pleasure that has been. William Yates III has served as your chairman, and he's served well. Not only has he overseen a transition at MEC, he's done so by assuring our organization never lost sight of our mission in building a statewide business community. William is president and CEO of Yates Construction. He's a third-generation leader of that company that means so much to us here in Mississippi. They have a presence throughout the world, but they call Mississippi home. I never knew where William might be when I'd pick up the phone to call him, but the one thing I did know is that he would respond, because he really does care about MEC. He's goal-oriented, he's tenacious, and he expects results. I know firsthand. Trust me, and those results must be meaningful. He's given his time, his energy, and his insight over the past year to make MEC a better organization and to make sure that we're continuing to make a difference. A strong leader, he's focused, and he's determined. Please join me in welcoming William Yates.
Thank you very much, Scott, for that introduction, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to MEC's 69th annual meeting. And I want to personally thank the people who are in this room. Your commitment, your support allows MEC to do what we do. And we couldn't do it without the support of people in this room. So thank you for being here today. Each year, the volunteers of our board of directors spend a tremendous amount of time and energy through MEC in trying to figure out how to move Mississippi forward. A lot of great people, smart people, really work together to make that happen. They don't just do it for the 1,100 member firms and the 11,000 members of MEC. They really do it for the right reasons. They do it for the greater business community, and they do it for the state of Mississippi. Today is our annual meeting, and we elect that board of directors for the next year. So on your tables, and also should be on the screens on both sides of me, we have our slate of directors and officers for the following year. If you would take just one quick minute to review that list. The chair will entertain a motion from the floor. Yes, Rebecca. And there's a second. So a motion has been made and seconded to accept this slate by acclamation. We'll now take a vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. And I want to thank each of the board members for their willingness to serve. This is a pretty time-consuming activity, and the board members really are willing to put in the time to make that happen. Our board of directors, along with our foundation boards and our board of governors, that is the nucleus of our leadership team at MEC. And it's that team that allows MEC to continue to be the voice of business in Mississippi. So I want to thank them all personally for everything they do for MEC and for the state of Mississippi. It is significant, it is meaningful, and it is appreciated. Now, in providing the voice of Mississippi business, MEC strives to develop relationships and really partnerships with our state leaders, our legislature, and of course, our governor. When Phil Bryant was elected governor, one of his absolute top priorities was to make sure that every Mississippian who wanted to work would have a job. And MEC has worked with him in that effort to promote that and to help figure out how we can grow our economy and indeed meet that vision. Governor Bryant believes economic development is the key to provide opportunities for our citizens. He believes in attracting new businesses and also supporting our existing businesses. And we can see that throughout the state with new projects coming in and also expansion of existing facilities. He believes in stronger educational outcomes to prepare our workforce for tomorrow. And we're now seeing that with improved reading scores and higher graduation rates. He believes that Mississippi needs a fair business climate. And he has worked with Lieutenant Governor REEVES and Speaker Gunn and the legislature to create a tax climate that is fair and that promotes growth, not stifles it. He believes all Mississippians deserve an opportunity to do better, to give them training so that their skill sets can be improved and they have upward mobility. And he has been a huge proponent of workforce development, including passage of the Mississippi Works Fund. We have seen some real progress in the last few years, but he's not done yet. Governor Bryant will continue to work and fight for every single Mississippian, and MEC will be there every step of the way. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the governor of the great state of Mississippi, Phil Bryant.
Thank you, William. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Thank you. I know you needed that brief stretch after lunch. The National Governors Association each year publishes the state of each governor. Matter of fact, you can often see it online. If you have nothing else in your life to do, you might go on and watch governors make their state of the state. I would not recommend it, but there are interesting facts and information to learn. For example, the National Governors Association for the last decade has realized that the #1 word or phrase used in any governor's speech has been education until last year. The word that replaced education was workforce. Now, they're almost one and the same. You cannot have a good workforce, and we all know this, without a world-class education system. Not just an adequate education system, not just one that we think is good, not one that people thought, well, we're sort of surprised that Mississippi's doing better than 50. A great workforce. So proud of the STAR students and teachers that are here today. Could we give them a round of applause? They are our workforce of the future. And we have an abundance of blessings in Mississippi. Just now we got the lowest unemployment in Mississippi's history, 4.5%. Never before in the state's history have we had 4.5% unemployment. 1.2 million Mississippians are working. That's a great thing. When I came into office, it was about 9.4%. I remember making a speech at the Neshoba County Fair and saying, I'm going to get that down to 7% unemployment. My staff came to me and said, Governor, don't say that anymore because, you know, we probably won't be able to do that. It was right in the middle of the Great Recession, and no one ever dreamed we would be at 4.5%. But now as I go out and recruit businesses all across the nation, as we talk to businesses here who are expanding, I almost hate to tell them that we've got the lowest unemployment. Why? Because they're thinking about workforce. And if you've got everybody working, where will I find my workforce? Well, we have to train a new future workforce. It starts with that educational system. It started with us in 2012 and 13 when we started talking about the literacy program, when we realized that what had to happen first before anything else is we had to have children reading at the 3rd grade level. You learn to read by the 3rd grade and then you read to learn after that. They said, oh no, it'd almost be impossible. Only 48% of the students now are reading proficiency at the 3rd grade level. We put reading coaches into it. The great legislature here in Mississippi, the leader in the House and the Senate, said we're going to put $15 million into those reading coaches, and we put them out throughout the system. And in 6 years, a little over 5 years later, we went from 48% of those students who were passing their third grade reading exam to 92% who were passing their third grade reading exam. Graduation rates were in the 70s. Once again, we were the lowest in the nation. We decided that we can do better, working again with an aggressive agenda, whether that was charter schools, whether it was the collaborative program the Lieutenant Governor was so dedicated to move forward for our early childhood learning program, building blocks, all of it began to come together. As a dyslexic child that repeated the third grade, I realized that the number one reason that children drop out of school was dyslexia, so we began to put dyslexia trainers into our schools and work with those children that had reading disorders, and we find out now today that 83% of our students are graduating from high school. We began to receive awards. A Frank Newman Award to be the most innovative state in America. Y'all all read about that, didn't you? You saw that in the paper? No, you probably didn't. There may have been an article or two on it back there in page 5 where it says Friars 59 cents a pound. See, we're celebrating it because we believe, and I just heard this morning there was a latest poll done. It wasn't done by us, but more Mississippians believe that we're on the right track now, and they have in any time in recent history. Believe that we're on the right track. I was asked to be chairman of the Education Commission of the States. That is the premier education opportunity organization in America. Education Commission of the States, and the governor of the state of Mississippi was asked to serve after serving 3 years as the national chairman of Jobs for American Graduates. I don't say these things because I want you to particularly believe that I'm smarter than other governors, that I've done something special. I'm saying this because Mississippi has improved its educational system to the point where other states are coming to us saying, how can we do that? How can we improve our early childhood learning? We're beginning now to look at child care. You know, when children learn between that 7 and 8 week period until they're 3 years old, they will learn more. Their mind will absorb more in that period than any time in their lifetime. I realized that years ago. And so we started looking at how we would treat our daycare workers, most daycare workers just now, and where we put our children. Now, my children's children, my grandchildren will be just fine. Many of your grandchildren and children will be just fine. But you go to the Mississippi Delta where I was born, where we spend $98 million on federally funded education. You've got a worker there with about 20 children in the room. I hope it's no more than 23-year-olds. I don't know how you can handle more than 2. We got 23-year-olds in there, and there's no learning component. So the children come out of there ready to go into one of the early childhood learning programs or into kindergarten, ill prepared for that. $98 million a year. We spend $199 million a year on Head Start. We've got to get all the benefit that we can from that nearly $300 million that we're investing primarily in early childhood learning. Chamber of Commerce of the United States did a remarkable study on it. It's called Workforce of Today, Workforce of Tomorrow. Go online and find this, Workforce of Today and Workforce of Tomorrow. It will tell you the soft skills that we learn, conflict resolution, languages, how we go about organizing others to help us accomplish and achieve a desired goal. All those things that we learned as we were students, or as children, many of us at home now are not being taught in every child care. So those soft skills are a problem as they come out, and we wonder just why they won't sit in their desk in the first grade. This is a remarkable discovery that the Chamber of Commerce has made. So what we're doing now, working with our great community colleges, is we're sending those daycare workers to a local child care academy so that that daycare worker can learn an educational component that will align with our early childhood learning programs and align with kindergarten. Now, we're ahead of this because I can tell you I've gone all over the nation, and Dr. Lori Smith, our workforce and education advisor to the governor's office has also gone all over the nation where other states are saying, please come and tell us how you are doing this. And why on earth you're starting it in Mississippi when everyone else seems to be behind. That's why we received the 2016 Pacesetter Award for the Campaign for Grade Level Reading. The Campaign for Grade Level Reading, a national organization that looks at states and says who can read on a grade level. And if they do, we make sure that we give them a Pacesetter Award. So many things are happening in education now. As we looked just the other day at the National Assessment of Education Project, NAEP. All of you in education have heard the NAEP scores, and every time they used to come out, we would all cringe because there was Mississippi at the bottom. Our scores were the worst. I look forward now to the National Assessment of Education progress, because I know we're moving. I know since 2013, 2017, we are one of the few states, one of only 10, that has made progress each and every year in our reading and math. As a matter of fact, Mississippi was only one of 10 states to gain in 8th grade reading scores this year on the latest report card. One of only 10 states. I know you read about that, saw that. There was some publication of that. It was so unique and so unbelievable that some people actually had to write about that. And they always want to talk about we're 50th. They always want to rate everything we do if you want to rate. So let's rate us. The 4th grade math has moved up 5 places from 2017. 5 places. We went from 45th in the nation to 40th. Now, that's not where I want to be. I want to be in the top 10, but it's not 50. So those of you that may read it on occasion or see some tweet or something on social media that says there's Mississippi 50th again in education, it is not true. It's, to the best of my knowledge, and y'all can help me with this, I'm sure someone will, there's not one category within NAEP or other scorecards across America that shows Mississippi 50th in public education. It does not exist anymore. If you look at the 4th grade reading, we're now tracking at number 42 in the nation. Number 42 in the nation. Now, it's divided by income and social standing. We know that. As a matter of fact, our 8th graders who live in middle to upper income neighborhoods and areas where they have school choice are leading the nation. They are actually above the national average in their math and reading in 8th grade, Mississippians. That's where the workforce comes in. Now, we've got lots of programs we're working as we get them out of high school so that 83% can go into a workforce training program at one of the great community colleges that we have here in the state of Mississippi or go on to higher education. We have now, just now in the governor's office, as we look at the SWIB board, State Workforce Investment Board, I've asked someone to serve as director of that, Dr. Lori Smith. Dr. Smith, are you here? Raise your hand. Dr. Lori Smith's done a remarkable job as the governor's workforce and education advisor. There's not a day goes by that I don't spend most of my time on workforce development. Just this morning, I was talking with our new senator, Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, the first woman that will ever serve as United States Senator for the state of Mississippi. She happens to be on the Appropriation Committee, and as we were talking, she said, I've got to go and take a vote. As a matter of fact, I've got to go into a committee meeting with the Department of Labor because their budget is before us. I said, Senator, listen, please, if you will help the Department of Labor, because if we can give them some flexibility, what they want to do is partner with the state of Mississippi in the apprenticeship program, so that shipbuilders of the future at Ingalls or those that want to build the most advanced radar systems in the world with Raytheon will be able to go into an apprenticeship program here in the state of Mississippi. So, Madam Senator, would you please go and help the Department of Labor not pay people not to work, but to make sure Mississippi has the wherewithal to teach the next generation of the workforce, and she is certainly going to do that. Now, I'm going to end this up. There's so much I could talk about and exciting things. New companies are coming, new companies that are expanding here, like Milwaukee Tools that added another 200 jobs just in the Jackson area, 600 all over. Cenex invested $20 million to create 600 jobs. They provide data service and cloud storage. Yeah, those are pretty good jobs for millennials. Ingalls Shipbuilding, again, manufacturing 70% of the combat surface vessels for the United States Navy. Airbus helicopter reached 400. They made their 400th helicopter just recently. You've seen the other day 4 million Nissan automobiles been made in Canton, Mississippi, not Canton, China. Toyota, Mississippi, I think you'll hear very soon, will be making more of the Corollas, the world's favorite automobile. On it goes in Mississippi. We're very fortunate to be able to not only provide almost anyone that wants a job in the state of Mississippi, but those income levels continue to go up as well, as we live in a state where the quality of living is better than any in the nation because of the cost of living here. Every $100 that you make nationwide is worth $115 in the state of Mississippi. Another good reason to come here. Now, what we've got to do is prepare ourselves for the future. Classrooms should look different. The schools of the future will not function as they do today. They will be better. They will be more advanced. We have to, because robotics, vertical integration, the computerization of the workforce in tomorrow will change everything. I've got a quick video I want to show you here. It is impressive. It is something that when I first saw it, I realized we had a lot of work to do. But the good news I can tell you today is the work that we are doing and have been doing since 2013 is paying off. You've got a state that is not only at the lowest unemployment in its history, but is moving forward and taking its rightful place among the leaders of states in the United States of America. Thank you for having me. I hope you'll enjoy this video. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Governor, for your remarks and for your leadership and everything you do for Mississippi. We appreciate it very much. If you're going to be in business in Mississippi, you need to be a part of MEC, because MEC is out there every day actively, proactively, aggressively representing the business interests to make sure that we have a fair business climate related to taxes, that we're getting the funding we need for workforce development, all the things that are important to business, MEC is trying to address those issues so that we have a better environment to promote growth for our businesses in the state.
Oh, MEC membership is what drives the state of Mississippi. When we look forward to what's happening in our state today, it's the local chambers and it's the statewide chamber that makes a difference in what the state's doing and puts us in a better light for outside.
Mississippi Economic Council plays a critical role here in Mississippi. It brings private sector business leaders together to try to help tackle challenging issues that our state faces. Some of those challenges can be resolved in the private sector and some perhaps in the public sector, but it's a great group of people who are doing what they think is best for our great state.
What's exciting about MEC is the energy and the passion and the commitment that our membership has to really just try to move Mississippi forward, to do the right things, to create an environment where we can promote growth and create more jobs.
Oh gosh, today's been a great day. Lots of members here all talking about positive things that are going on in the state of Mississippi.
Oh, I'm excited that we had such a wonderful turnout, 2 great programs this morning, a chance to highlight our international ballet competition and see some young dancers who one day may be on the stage at the international ballet competition perform. That's just a special treat. And then we talked about a key issue, workforce. How do we make a difference? How do we change the paradigm going forward to focus on giving those that are skilled craftsmen, master craftsmen, the same type of value in today's economy as the master's degree recipient. Both are vitally important, and we have to be thinking at it from that perspective.
If people have questions like more information about MEC, what should they do?
Call Scott Waller. Scott can answer all your questions. We've got a great team at the MEC office, and we need more members, so call them.
Real simple, MEC.ms. That's MEC.ms. That's our website. Everything's there. I hope they'll go.